Snoop Dogg. Cordozar Calvin Broadus, Jr., known professionally as Snoop Dogg, is an American rapper and actor from Long Beach, California. His music career began in 1992, when he was discovered by Dr. Dre of N.W.A, and as a result was prominently featured throughout Dr. Dre's solo debut album, The Chronic. He has since sold over 23 million albums in the United States, and 35 million albums worldwide. Snoop's debut album, Doggystyle, was released in 1993 under Death Row Records, debuting at #1 on both the Billboard 200 and Billboard Top R&B hip-hop albums charts, selling almost 1 million copies in the first week of its release. Doggystyle became certified 4 times platinum in 1994 and spawned several hit singles, including What's My Name and Gin and Juice. In 1994, Snoop released a soundtrack on Death Row Records for the short film Murder Was the Case, starring himself. His second album, Tha Doggfather, also debuted at #1 on both charts with Snoop's Upside Ya Head as the lead single. The album was certified double platinum in 1997. After leaving Death Row Records, Snoop signed with No Limit Records, where he recorded his next 3 albums: Da Game Is To Be Sold, Not To Be Told, No Limit, Top Dog, and Ta Last Meal. Snoop then signed with Priority Capital Emmy Records in 2002, where he released Paid Ta Cost To Be Da Boss. He then signed with Geffen Records in 2004 for his next 3 albums: R&G, The Masterpiece, Ta Blue Carpet Treatment, and Ego Trippin'. Malice in Wonderland and Documentary were released on Priority. Snoop Dogg has starred in motion pictures and hosted several television shows, including Doggystyle Televisal, Snoop Dogg's Fatherhood, and Dog After Dark. He also coaches a youth football league and high school football team. In September 2009, Snoop was hired by Emmy as the chairman of a reactivated Priority Records. In 2012, after a trip to Jamaica, Snoop announced a conversion to the Rastafari movement and a new alias, Snoop Lion. Under the new moniker, he released a reggae album, Reincarnated, and a documentary film of the same name, of his Jamaican experience, in early 2013. His 14th solo studio album, Kool-Aid, was released in July 2016. Snoop Dogg holds the dubious distinction of having 17 Grammy nominations without a win. In March 2016, the night before WrestleMania 32 in Arlington, Texas, Snoop was inducted into the celebrity wing of the WWE Hall of Fame, having made several appearances for the company, including as Master of Ceremonies during a match at WrestleMania 24. Early life. Cordozar Calvin Broadus, Jr. was born in Long Beach, California, the second of 3 sons. He was named after his stepfather, Cordozar Calvin Broadus Sr. His mother is Beverly Broadus. His father, Vernal Varnado, was a Vietnam veteran, singer, and mail carrier who was said to be frequently absent from his life. As a boy, his parents nicknamed him Snoopy because of his appearance, but they usually addressed him as Calvin at home. His mother and stepfather divorced in 1975. When he was very young, Broadus began singing and playing piano at the Golgotha Trinity Baptist Church. In 6th grade, he began rapping. As a teenager, Snoop Dogg frequently ran into trouble with the law. He was a member of the Rollin' 20 Crips gang in the east side of Long Beach, although he stated in 1993 that he never joined a gang. Shortly after graduating from high school, he was arrested for possession of cocaine, and for the following 3 years, was frequently in and out of prison. Snoop, along with his cousins Nate Dogg and Lil One Half Dead, and friend Warren G. recorded homemade tapes as a group called 213, named after the Long Beach area code at the time. One of his early solo freestyles over En Vogue's Hold On had made it to a mixtape which was heard by influential producer Dr. Dre, who called to invite him to an audition. Former N.W.A. associate The DOC taught him how to structure his lyrics and separate the thematics into verses, hooks, and chorus. 1992–97, Death Row, Doggystyle, and Tha Doggfather. When he began recording, Broadus took the stage name Snoop Doggy Dogg. Dr. Dre began working with Snoop Dogg, first on the theme song of the 1992 film Deep Cover, and then on Dr. Dre's debut solo album The Chronic with the other members of his former starting group Tha Doggfather. The huge success of Snoop Dogg's debut Doggystyle was partially because of this intense exposure to fuel the ascendance of West Coast G-Funk hip-hop. The singles, Who Am I, and Gin and Juice, reached of the top 10 most played songs in the United States, and the album stayed on the Billboard charts for several months. Gangsta rap became the center of arguments for censorship or labeling, with Snoop Dogg often used as an example of violent and misogynistic musicians. Unlike much of the harder-edged gangsta rap artists, Snoop Dogg seemed to show his softer side, said music journalist Chuck Phillips. In fact, the artist's favorite track on his 1993 album was a gospel-inspired tribute to his mother called Gangsta Life. It's about how my mama raised me and my brothers on her own, and how we got caught up on the streets. In the song I give my mama her respect, and yet I try to show just what the wages are for kids not paying attention. I ain't no gospel rap musician, man, but I got faith in what I believe in, the artist told Phillips. Rolling Stone music critic Toure asserted that Snoop had a relatively soft vocal delivery compared to other rappers. Snoop's vocal style is a part of what distinguishes him. Where many rappers scream, figuratively and literally, he speaks softly. Doggystyle, much like The Chronic, featured a host of rappers signed to or affiliated with the Death Row label, including Daz Dillinger, Corrupt, Nate Dogg, and others. A short film about Snoop Dogg's murder trial called Murder Was the Case was released in 1994, along with an accompanying soundtrack. On July 6, 1995, Doggystyle Records, Inc., a record label founded by Snoop Dogg, was registered with the California Secretary of State's business entity number C1923139. After Snoop Dogg was acquitted of murder charges on February 20, 1996, he and the mother of his son, and their kennel of 20 pit bulls, moved into a home in the hills of Claremont, California. And by August 1996, Doggystyle Records, a subsidiary of Death Row Records, signed the Gap band's Charlie Wilson as one of the record label's first artists. He collaborated with fellow rap artist Tupac Shakur in the 1996 single 2 of America's Most Wanted. This would turn out to be one of Shakur's last songs while alive. He was shot on September 7, 1996 in Las Vegas, dying 6 days later. In 2001, however, by the time Snoop Dogg's second album, Tha Doggfather, was released in November 1996, the price of living the gangster life had become very evident. Among the many notable hip-hop industry deaths and convictions were the death of Snoop Dogg's friend and label mate Tupac Shakur, and the racketeering indictment of Death Row co-founder Suge Knight. Dr. Dre had left Death Row earlier in 1996 because of a contract dispute. So Snoop Dogg co-produced Tha Doggfather with Daz Dillinger and DJ Pooh. This album featured a distinct change of style as compared to Doggystyle, and the lead-off single, Snoop's Upside Ya Head, featured a collaboration with Gap band frontman Charlie Wilson. While the album sold reasonably well, it was not as successful as its predecessor. However, Tha Doggfather had a somewhat softer approach to the G-Funk style. The immediate aftermath of Dr. Dre's withdrawal from Death Row Records, realizing that he was subject to an ironclad time-based contract, Snoop Dogg refused to produce any more tracks for Suge Knight, other than the insulting "Fuck Death Row," until his contract expired. In an interview with Neil Strauss in 1998, Snoop Dogg stated that though he had been given lavish gifts by his former label, they had withheld royalty payments to the artist. Stephen Thomas Elwine of AllMusic said that after Tha Doggfather, Snoop Dogg began moving away from his gangster roots toward a calmer lyrical aesthetic. For instance, Snoop participated in the 1997 Lollapalooza concert tour, which featured mainly alternative rock music. Troy J. Augusto of Variety noticed that Snoop's set at Lollapalooza attracted much dancing, and, strangely, even a small mosh pit in the audience. 1998 to 2006, signing with No Limit and continued success. Snoop signed with Master P's No Limit Records in 1998, and debuted on the label with Dog Aimers to Be Sold, Not to Be Told that year. His other albums from No Limit were No Limit Top Dog in 1999 and Tha Last Meal in 2000. In 2001, his autobiography, Tha Doggfather, was published. In 2002, he released the album Paid Tha Cost to Be Dabo on Priority Capital ME, selling over 1,300,000 copies. The album featured the hit singles From Tha Church to Da Palace and Beautiful, featuring guest vocals by Pharrell. By this stage in his career, Snoop Dogg had left behind his gangster image and embraced a pimp image. In 2004, Snoop signed to Geffen Records, Star Trek Entertainment, both of which were distributed through Interscope Records. Star Trek is headed by producer duo The Neptunes, which produced several tracks for Snoop's 2004 release R&G, The Masterpiece. Drop It Like It's Hot, the first single released from the album, was a hit, and became Snoop Dogg's first single to reach #1. His third release was Signs, featuring Justin Timberlake and Charlie Wilson, which entered the UK chart at #2. This was his highest entry ever in the UK chart. The album sold 1,724,000 copies in the US alone, and most of its singles were heavily played on radio and television. Snoop Dogg joined Warren G. and Nate Dogg to form the group 213 and released album The Hard Way in 2004, debuting at #4 on the Billboard 200 and #1 on the top R&B, hip-hop albums. It included single, Groupie Love. Snoop Dogg appeared in the music video for Korn's Twisted Transistor, along with fellow rappers Lil Jon, Exhibit, and David Banner. Snoop Dogg's appeared on 2 tracks from Ice Cube's 2006 album Laugh Now, Cry Later, including the single, Go to Church, and on several tracks on Tha Dogg's Cali is Active the same year. Also, his latest song, Real Talk, was leaked over the internet in the summer of 2006, and a video was later released on the internet. Real Talk was a dedication to former Crips leader Stanley "Tookie" Williams, and a diss to Arnold Schwarzenegger, the governor of California. 2 other singles on which Snoop made a guest performance were Keep Bouncing by $2 Hort and Gangsta Walk by Coolio. Snoop's 2006 album, Tha Blue Carpet Treatment, debuted on the Billboard 200 at #5 and has sold over 850,000 copies. The album and the second single, That's That Shit, featuring R. Kelly, were well received by critics. In the album, he collaborated in a video with E40. and other West Coast rappers for his single, Candy. 2007-12, Ego Trippin', Malice in Wonderland and Documentary. In July 2007, Snoop Dogg made history by becoming the first artist to release a track as a ringtone prior to its release as a single, which was "It's the Dog." On July 7, 2007, Snoop Dogg performed at the Live Earth concert, Hamburg. Snoop Dogg has ventured into singing for Bollywood with his first ever rap for an Indian movie, Sing Is Kinj. The title of the song is also Sing Is Kinj. He also appears in the movie as himself. The album featuring the song was released on June 8, 2008 on Junglee Music Records. He released his 9th studio album, Ego Trippin', along with the first single, Sexual Eruption. The single peaked at number 7 on the Billboard 100, featuring Snoop using auto-tune. The album featured production from QDT. Snoop was appointed an executive position at Priority Records. His 10th studio album, Malice in Wonderland, was released on December 8, 2009. The first single from the album, Gangsta Love, featuring The Dream, peaked at number 35 on the Billboard Hot 100. The album debuted at number 23 on the Billboard 200, selling 61,000 copies its first week, making it his lowest charting album. His third single, I Wanna Rock, peaked at number 41 on the Billboard Hot 100. The fourth single from Malice in Wonderland, titled Pronto, featuring Soulja Boy Tally M, was released on iTunes on December 1, 2009. Snoop re-released the album under the name More Malice. Snoop collaborated with Katy Perry on California Girls, the first single from her album Teenage Dream, which was released on May 11, 2010. Snoop can also be heard on the track Flashing by Dr. Dre, and on current YS song Sea Change. He was also featured on a new single from Australian singer Jessica Mauboy, titled Get EM Girls. Snoop's latest effort was backing American recording artist Emmy on her second single entitled Mr. Romeo. Snoop also collaborated with American comedy troupe The Lonely Island in their song Turtleneck and Chain, in their 2011 album Turtleneck and Chain. Snoop Dogg's 11th studio album is Doggmentary. The album went through several tentative titles including Doggystyle 2, Tha Doggfather, and Documentary Music 0020 before being released under the final title Doggmentary during March 2011. Snoop was featured on Gorillaz' latest album Plastic Beach on a track called Welcome to the World of the Plastic Beach with the Hypnotic Brass Ensemble. He also completed another track with them entitled Something Like This Night, which does not appear on Plastic Beach, yet does appear on Doggmentary. He also appears on the latest Tekken 9, the album All 6S and 7S on a track called Pornographic, which also features E40 and Chris Calico. 2012-13, Reincarnated and 7 Days of Funk. On February 4, 2012, Snoop Dogg announced a documentary, Reincarnated, alongside his new upcoming studio album entitled Reincarnated. The film was released March 21, 2013, with the album slated for release April 23, 2013. On July 20, 2012, Snoop Dogg released a new reggae single, La La La, under the pseudonym Snoop Lion. 3 other songs were also announced to be on the album, No Guns Allowed, Ashtrays, and Heartbreaks, and Harder Times. On July 31, 2012, Snoop introduced a new stage name, Snoop Lion. He told reporters that he was rechristened Snoop Lion by a Rastafarian priest in Jamaica. In response to Frank Ocean coming out, Snoop said hip-hop was ready to accept a gay rapper. Snoop recorded an original song for the 2012 fighting game Tekken Tag Tournament 2, titled KNOCCEM Down, and makes a special appearance as a non-playable character in the Snoop Dogg stage arena. In September of the same year, Snoop released a compilation of electronic music entitled Loose Joints under the moniker DJ Snoopadelic, stating the influence of George Clinton's Funkadelic. In an interview with the Fader magazine, Snoop stated, "Snoop Lion, Snoop Dogg, DJ Snoopadelic, they only know one thing: make music that's timeless and bangs." In December 2012, Snoop released his second single from Reincarnated, Here Comes the King. It was also announced that Snoop worked a deal with RCA Records to release Reincarnated in early 2013. Also in December 2012, Snoop Dogg released a That's My Work, a collaboration rap mixtape with Tha Doggfather. In an interview with Hip Hop Weekly on June 17, producer Simbalich One announced that Snoop was working on his final album under his rap moniker, Snoop Dogg. "I've been working with Snoop. He's actually working on his last solo album as Snoop Dogg." In September 2013, Snoop released a collaboration album with his sons as Tha Broadus Boys titled Royal Fam. On October 28, 2013, Snoop Dogg released another mixtape entitled That's My Work 2, hosted by DJ Drama. Snoop formed a funk duo with musician Dam Funk called 7 Days of Funk, and released their eponymous debut album on December 10, 2013. 2014 President Bush and Kool-Aid. In August 2014, a clip surfaced online featuring a sneak preview of a new song Snoop had recorded for Pharrell, which was released on his new album. Snoop's Pharrell Williams-produced album Bush was released on May 12, 2015, with the first single, Peaches and Cream, having been released on March 10, 2015. On June 13, 2016, Snoop Dogg announced the release date for his upcoming album Kool-Aid, which was released on July 1, 2016. He headlined a unity party for donors at Philly's Electric Factory on July 28, 2016, the last day of the Democratic National Convention. Released Wednesday through his own Doggystyle Records, Promise You This precedes the release of his upcoming Kool-Aid film based on his most recent album. On April 6, 2017, Snoop Dogg revealed that his new album, Never Left, would be released on May 19. Other ventures. Snoop Dogg has appeared in numerous films and television episodes throughout his career. His starring roles in film includes The Wash and the horror film Bones. He also co-starred with rapper Wiz Khalifa in the 2012 movie Mac and Devin Go to High School, which a sequel has been announced. He has had various supporting and cameo roles in film, including Half-Baked, Training Day, Starsky and Hutch, and Bruno at Orlando's Citrus Bowl with Ashley Massaro and tag team partner Maria. March 30, 2008, he has starred in 3 television programs: sketch comedy show Doggyfizzle Televizzle, variety show Dog After Dark, and reality show Snoop Dogg's Fatherhood. He has starred in episodes of King of the Hill, Las Vegas, and Monk, 1 episode of Robot Chickens, as well as 3 episodes of One Life to Live. He has participated in 2 Comedy Central roasts for Flavor Flav and Donald Trump. Cameo television appearances include episodes of The L Word, Weeds, Entourage, I Get That a Lot, and The Price is Right. He has also appeared in an episode of the YouTube video series, Epic Rap Battles of History as Moses. In 2000, Snoop directed Snoop Dogg's Doggystyle, a pornographic film produced by Hustler. The film, combining hip-hop with X-rated material, was a huge success and one top-selling release of the Year at the 2002 AVN Awards. Snoop then directed Snoop Dogg's Hustle as Diary of a Pimp in 2002. Snoop founded his own production company, Snoopadelic Films, in 2005. Their debut film was Bossin' Up, a film inspired by Snoop Dogg's album R&G, starring Lil Jon and Trina. On March 30, 2008, he appeared at WrestleMania 24 as a Master of Ceremonies for a tag team match between Maria and Ashley Massaro as they took on Beth Phoenix and Melina. In December 2013, Snoop performed at the annual Kennedy Center Honors Concert, honoring jazz pianist Herbie Hancock. After his performance, Snoop credited Hancock with inventing hip-hop. On several occasions, Snoop has appeared at the Players Ball in support of Bishop Don Magic Juan. Juan appeared on Snoop's videos for Boss Playa, A Didac, Pimp, Nothing Without Me, and A Pimp's Christmas Song. In November 2015, he starred in an Old Navy TV commercial together with Kumail Nanjiani and Julia Louis-Dreyfus. In January 2016, a Change.org petition was created in the hopes of having Dogg narrate the entire Planet Earth series. The petition comes after Snoop narrated a number of nature clips on Jimmy Kimmel Live. In April 2016, Snoop Dogg performed Straight Outta Compton and Fucked Our Police at Coachella during a reunion of N.W.A. members, Drive, Dre, Ice Cube and MC Ren. He hosted a basketball fundraiser, Hoops for Water, for Flint, Michigan. The event occurred on May 21, 2016 and was run by former Toronto Raptors star and Flint native Morris Peterson. In the fall of 2016, VH1 premiered a new show featuring Snoop Dogg and his friend Martha Stewart called Martha and Snoop's Potluck Dinner Party, featuring games, recipes, and musical guests. Snoop Dogg and Stewart also later starred together in a Super Bowl commercial for T-Mobile during Super Bowl LI in February 2017. Style and rap skills. Kool Moe Dee ranks Snoop at number 33 in his book There's a God on the Mic, and says he has an ultra-smooth, laid-back delivery, and flavor-filled melodic rhyming. Peter Shapiro describes Snoop's delivery as a molasses drawl and all music notes his drawled, laconic rhyming style. Kool Moe Dee refers to Snoop's use of vocabulary, saying he keeps it real simple, he simplifies it and he's effective in his simplicity. Snoop is known to freestyle some of his lyrics on the spot for some songs. In the book How to Rap, Lady of Rage says, Snoop Dogg, when I worked with him earlier in his career, that's how created his stuff. He would freestyle. He wasn't a writer then, he was a freestyler, and the DOC states, Snoop's rap was a one-take willy, but his shit was all freestyle. He hadn't written nothing down. He just came in and started busting. The song was Tar Shiznit, that was all freestyle. He started busting and when we got to the break, Dre cut the machine off, did the chorus and told Snoop to come back in. He did that throughout the record. That's when Snoop was in the zone then. Peter Shapiro says that Snoop debuted on Deep Cover with a shockingly original flow, which sounded like a Slick Rick born in South Carolina instead of South London, and adds that he showed where his style came from by covering Slick Rick's La Di Da Di, referring to Snoop's flow. Kool Moe Dee calls him one of the smoothest, funkiest flowers in the game. How to Rap also notes that Snoop is known to use syncopation in his flow to give it a laid-back quality, as well as linking with rhythm in his compound rhymes, using alliteration, and employing a sparse flow with good use of pauses. Snoop repopularized the use of isle speak, particularly in the pop and hip-hop music industry. Personal life. Broadus's father left the family when he was 3 months old. A DNA test read by George Lopez on Lopez Tonight revealed Snoop Dogg to be of 71% African, 23% Native American, and 6% European descent. Snoop married his high school sweetheart, Shantae Taylor, on June 12, 1997. On May 21, 2004, he filed for divorce from Taylor, citing irreconcilable differences. The couple renewed their wedding vows on January 12, 2008. The couple have 3 children together, sons Corday and Cordell, and daughter Corey. He is a first cousin of R&B singers Brandy and Ray J, and WWE professional wrestler Sasha Banks. Since the start of his career, Snoop has been an avowed cannabis smoker, making it one of the trademarks of his image. In 2002, he announced he was giving up cannabis for good. However, that would not last long, and in 2013, he claimed to be smoking approximately 80 cannabis blunts a day. He has been certified for medical cannabis in California to treat migraines since at least 2007. Snoop claimed in a 2006 interview with Rolling Stone magazine that unlike other hip-hop artists who had superficially adopted the pimp persona, he was an actual professional pimp in 2003 and 2004, saying, "That shit was my natural calling, and once I got involved with it, it became fun. It was like shootin' layups for me. I was making EM every time." He went on to say that upon the advice of some of the other pimps he knew, he eventually gave up pimping to spend more time with his family. Sports. Snoop is 6'4" tall and an avid sports fan, including hometown teams Los Angeles Dodgers, Los Angeles Lakers and USC Trojans, as well as the Pittsburgh Steelers. He has stated that he began following the Steelers in the 1970s while watching the team with his grandfather. He is also a fan of the Oakland Raiders and Dallas Cowboys, often wearing a number 5 jersey, and has been seen at Raiders training camps. He has shown affection for the New England Patriots, having been seen performing at Gillette Stadium. He is also an avid ice hockey fan, sporting jerseys from the NHL's Pittsburgh Penguins and the AHL's Springfield Indians in his 1994 music video, Gin and Juice. On his reality show Snoop Dogg's Fatherhood, Snoop and his family received lessons on playing hockey from the Anaheim Ducks, then returning to the Honda Center to cheer on the Ducks against the Vancouver Canucks in the episode, Snow in the Hood. Snoop Dogg is a certified football coach and has been head coach for Cordell's youth football teams and also the John A. Rowland High School team. Cordell played wide receiver and defensive back at Bishop Gorman High School in Las Vegas, Nevada, and received football scholarship offers from Southern California, UCLA, Washington, Cal, Oregon State, Duke and Notre Dame. Cordell committed and signed a letter of intent to play for UCLA on February 4, 2015. On August 14, 2015, UCLA announced that Cordell had left the UCLA football team, deciding to pursue other passions in his life. Religion. In 2009, it was reported that Snoop Dogg was a member of the Nation of Islam. That March 1, he made an appearance at the Nation of Islam's annual Savior's Day holiday, where he praised Minister Louis Farrakhan. Snoop stated he was a member of the Nation, but declined to give the date on which he joined. He also donated $1,000 to the organization, claiming to be born again. In 2012, the gangster rapper converted to the Rastafari movement, switched the focus of his music to reggae, and changed his name to Snoop Lion. Following a trip to Jamaica, he released a reggae album, Reincarnated, stating, "I have always said I was Bob Marley reincarnated. referring to the Jamaican reggae legend who died in 1981. In January 2013, he received criticism from members of the Rastafarian community in Jamaica, including reggae artist Bunny Wailer, for an alleged failure to meet his commitments to the culture. Snoop later dismissed the claims, stating his beliefs were personal and not up for outside judgment. Wailer is credited for giving Snoop the name Lion. Charity. Dogg partners with city officials and annually gives away turkeys to the less fortunate in Inglewood, CA. At Thanksgiving, he gave away 3,000 turkeys in 2016. Politics. In 2012, Snoop Dogg endorsed Congressman Ron Paul for the 2012 Republican presidential primary, although he later said he would vote for Barack Obama in the general election. And through Instagram he gave 10 reasons to vote for Obama, and 10 reasons not to vote for Mitt Romney. In an interview with the Huffington Post, Snoop Dogg came out in support of same-sex marriage, saying that people can do what they want. In his keynote address at the 2015 South by Southwest Music Festival, he blamed Los Angeles' explosion of gang violence in the 1980s on the economic policies of Ronald Reagan, and insinuated that his administration shipped guns and drugs into the area. He endorsed then-presidential candidate Hillary Clinton in May 2016, saying, "I would love to see a woman in office, because I feel like we're at that stage in life too, where we need a perspective other than the male's train of thought. And just to have a woman speaking from a global perspective as far as representing America, I'd love to see that. So I'll be voting for Ms. Clinton." Business ventures and investments. Broadus has been an active entrepreneur and investor. In 2009, he was appointed creative chairman of Priority Records. In April 2015, Broadus became a minority investor in his first investment venture, Ease, a California-based weed delivery startup that promises to deliver medical marijuana to persons' doorstep in less than 10 minutes. In October 2015, Broadus launched his new digital media business Mary Jane that focuses on news about marijuana. Mary Jane is Cannabis 2.0, he said in a promotional video for the media source. A crossroads of pot culture, business, politics, health. In November 2015, Broadus announced his new brand of cannabis products, Leafs by Snoop. The line of branded products includes marijuana flowers, concentrates and edibles. Leafs by Snoop is truly the first mainstream cannabis brand in the world, and proud to be a pioneer, Snoop Dogg said. Pounds is blazing a trail for the industry. In such a way, Broadus became the first major celebrity to brand and market a line of legal marijuana products. Broadus and his brand manager Nick Adler released an app, Snoopify, that lets users plaster stickers of Snoop's face, rims or a walrus hat on photos. Adler built the app in May after discovering stickers in Japan. The app currently generates $30,000 in weekly sales. On March 30, 2016, Broadus was reported to purchase the famed soul food restaurant chain Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles out of bankruptcy. Legal incidents. Shortly after graduating from high school, Broadus was arrested for possession of cocaine, and for the following 3 years was frequently in and out of prison. In 1990, he was convicted of felony possession of drugs and possession for sale. While recording Doggystyle in August 1993, Snoop Dogg was arrested in connection with the death of Philip Woldemariam, a member of a rival gang who was shot and killed by Snoop's bodyguard, McKinley Lee. Snoop was charged with murder along with Lee as he was driving the vehicle from which the shooting had commenced. Snoop and Lee were defended by Johnny Cochran. Both Snoop and Lee were acquitted. Lee was acquitted on grounds of self-defense, but Snoop Dogg remained entangled in the legal battles around the case for 3 years. In July 1993, Snoop was stopped for a traffic violation, and a firearm was found by police while conducting a search of his car. In February 1997, he pleaded guilty to possession of a handgun, and was ordered to record 3 public service announcements, pay a $1,000 fine, and serve 3 years probation. Snoop Dogg, Tha Doggfather, and The Game were sued for assaulting a fan on stage at a May 2005 concert at the White River Amphitheater in Auburn, Washington. The accuser, Richard Monroe, Jr., claimed he was beaten by the artist's entourage while mounting the stage, allegedly after an open invite. The lawsuit, which sought $22 million in damages, was dismissed in 2009. In September 2006, Snoop Dogg was detained at John Wayne Airport in Orange County, California by airport security, after airport screeners found a collapsible police baton in Snoop's carry-on bag. Donald Etra, Snoop's lawyer, told deputies the baton was a prop for a musical sketch. Snoop was sentenced to 3 years probation and 160 hours of community service for the incident starting in September 2007. Snoop Dogg was arrested again October 2006 at Bob Hope Airport in Burbank after being stopped for a traffic infraction. He was arrested for possession of a firearm and for suspicion of transporting an unspecified amount of marijuana, according to a police statement. The following month, after taping an appearance on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno, he was arrested again for possession of marijuana, cocaine and a firearm. 2 members of Snoop's entourage, according to the Burbank police statement, were admitted members of the Rollin' Twenties Crips gang, and were arrested on separate charges. In April 2007, he was sentenced to a 3-year suspended sentence, 5 years probation, and was required to perform 800 hours of community service after pleading no contest to 2 felony charges of drug and gun possession by a convicted felon. He was also prohibited from hiring anyone with a criminal record or gang affiliation as a security guard or a driver. In April 26, 2006, Snoop Dogg and members of his entourage were arrested after being turned away from British Airways' first-class lounge at Heathrow Airport. Snoop and his party were denied entry to the lounge due to some members flying in economy class. After being escorted outside, the group vandalized a duty-free shop with whiskey bottles. 7 police officers were injured in the midst of the disturbance. After a night in jail, Snoop and the other men were released on bail the next day, but he was unable to perform a scheduled concert in Johannesburg. On May 15, the Home Office decided that Snoop Dogg would be denied entry to the United Kingdom for the foreseeable future, and his British visa was denied the following year. As of March 2010, Snoop Dogg has been allowed back into the UK. The group involved in the incident have been banned by British Airways for the foreseeable future. In April 2007, the Australian Department of Immigration and Citizenship banned him from entering the country on character grounds, citing his prior criminal convictions. He had been scheduled to appear at the MTV Australia Video Music Awards on April 29, 2007. Australian Department of Immigration and Citizenship lifted the ban in September 2008 and had granted him visa to tour Australia. The IAC said, in making this decision, the department weighed his criminal convictions against his previous behaviour while in Australia, recent conduct, including charity work, and any likely risk to the Australian community. We took into account all relevant factors and, on balance, the department decided to grant the visa. He was banned from entering Norway for 2 years in July 2012 after entering the country the month before in possession of 8 grams of marijuana and an undeclared in cash, or about as of September 2015. Snoop Dogg has also been arrested and fined for misdemeanor marijuana possession in Los Angeles in 1998, in Cleveland in 2001, and Sierra Blanca, Texas in 2010. Snoop Dogg, after performing for a concert in Uppsala, Sweden on July 25, 2015, was pulled over and detained by Swedish police for allegedly using illegal drugs, violating a Swedish law enacted in 1988, which criminalized the recreational use of such substances, therefore even being under the influence of any illegal, controlled substance a crime in itself even without possession. During the detention, he was taken to the police station to perform a drug test and was released afterwards. The rapid test was positive for traces of narcotics, and he was potentially subject to fines depending on the results of more detailed analysis, which were expected to be completed within several weeks. The rapper uploaded several videos on the social networking site, Instagram, criticizing the police for alleged racial profiling. He declared in the videos, "Nigger has got me in the back of police car right now in Sweden, cause," and pulled a nigger over for nothing, taking us to the station, where I've got to go pee in a cup for nothing. I ain't done nothing. All I did was came to the country and did a concert, and now I've got to go to the police station for nothing. He announced to his Swedish fan base that he would no longer go on tour in Sweden anymore due to the incident. Police spokesman Daniel Nielsen responded to the accusations by saying, "We don't work like that in Sweden." In the Death Row Records bankruptcy case, Snoop Dogg lost $2 million. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe below. Please like and subscribe below.